pregnant, and this is the story time of how I found out I was pregnant and how I decided to tell everybody. Okay, so I personally I keep up with my periods. So I have this app, and the app was telling me, okay, you're 1 day late. Okay, so I'm like, okay, well that's okay. That could be normal, because birth control sometimes moves your period around, like it's irregular when you're on birth control. So I'm thinking, oh, that's normal. But the next day it didn't come as well. So I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna let it blow over. So the next day still didn't come. So the fourth day I seen that I was like 4 days late. I didn't come on, never came on. So I finally came home and I finally took a test. The test came back positive, and I was just thinking, no, God, no, God, I don't think this what it was. I don't think this is what you're trying to tell me. So let me take another one. So I had took another one, and I'm like, okay. It came back positive. So I'm waiting. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe later I have to pee again so I can take another one. So I took a total of 3 tests. So first time I took it, I already knew, like, no, this can't be right. So I called my friend. Well, she's basically my sister at this point. Like, we're really close. I called her and I let her know, like, oh my God, I think I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. Then I called my baby daddy, or my child's father. I called him. He was like, he didn't know what to do. He don't know what to say. I was just like, I don't know either. So I'm just let it go. So after that, I had finally coped with it. So the next day, I had ended up calling I went to my godmother's house, and I ended up telling her. And the way I told her, I was just like, okay, I got something to tell you, and you might be mad. She was like, okay, tell me. So I was just looking, and she was like, are you pregnant? And I was like, I didn't say nothing. I just put all 3 of the tests out, and I laid them on the table, and I was just like, yeah. And she was just asking, who is it, and all that. Then after we got through the who is it phase, I finally told her, and then she had told me, she basically just encouraged me, let me know that it's gonna be okay and it's not the end of the world. Let me know that I can still go to school. And I was crying because that was my biggest fear, me not being able to pursue my dreams, me not being able to go to school and actually make something of my life. But yeah, so months went by, maybe 2 or 3 months. I had no went to the doctor, everything. No one knew but her. And I did tell my sisters. One of my sisters was happy. Well, both of them were happy. The other one was just happy it wasn't her. So she was just happy that it wasn't her. She was so happy it wasn't her. And so the couple months went by, and I finally started to tell people. I told my auntie first, and then when I told her, I had called her in the room and I showed her the ultrasound. She was like, whose baby is this? And I'm like, it's mine. So she was just shocked, and she was telling me the same thing that my godmother was telling me. She was like, it's gonna be challenging, but I still can go to school. They're gonna help me. They're gonna make sure I have a babysitter. They're gonna make sure I have this, that, everything I need, long as I'm staying in school. And they're willing to help me long as I'm in school. So I was really happy with that outcome, with everybody being genuine and supportive, and especially with me going to school, because everybody knows that that's my biggest goal, to finish school and go to college and graduate college. So I finally got around. One day I was taking my real mother to work. I was taking her to work, and I'm just talking. And the day of my graduation picture, she had said, oh, you look pregnant. Is there something you need to tell me? And I just brushed it off, didn't text her back, didn't say anything. She never brought it back up. So after that, I finally asked her, if I told you I was pregnant, would you tell my nana? Because I stay with my nana, and I didn't want my nana to find out from nobody else but me. So I was just like, she was just like, no. She was just like, no. Well, yes. Well, I don't know. So she was basically in the, like, undecided if she would tell my nana or not. So I had finally told her. I was like, well, I'm pregnant. She didn't believe me. So I gave her the ultrasound. And she was just, I don't know. She was just shocked. She was shaking her head. So at first I feel like she was more hurt than upset. More hurt than mad. She was more disappointed than mad. She wasn't mad at all because she was ready to be a grandparent, but she just didn't want me to be the first one. So times got around, and I finally started telling people, but I didn't want to tell anybody before I told my dad. My dad is currently in prison, so I really didn't know how to tell him. Like, I tried to tell him, but something happened, so I couldn't tell him. So we didn't talk for like 3 months. So I really couldn't tell nobody else because I couldn't tell my dad. So after the time, finally, after me finally telling him, I start telling my other family members and everything, and they were okay with it. Nobody was really disappointed much. Like, they were just on the, oh my God, you're gonna be a mom, you know, you gotta step up. They was just telling me, prepping me, like, anything I need to ask, it's okay to ask. They was just telling me a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I finally started telling people about it. So then my nana, I didn't tell her. I wanted her to find out from somebody else because I didn't want to be the one to tell her that. Like, I didn't want to see her reaction. I didn't want to know nothing. I didn't want her to say nothing to me. So I was really scared. I'm like, oh my God, my nana find out, I'm finna get kicked out. I'm finna do this, that, and the third. She's gonna beat my ass. I was so scared, y'all. So finally time went by, whatever, and she finally asked me about it. And I was just like, yeah. So she was just asking me who the daddy was, and I told her, and she was just like, okay, so why would you say your mom before you tell me? Because I'm real close to my nana, and I'm not really close with my real mom. So I was just like, I don't know. I didn't know how to tell you. I was scared. I wasn't going to tell you until I had the baby. So she was like, oh, so you're having it? And I was like, yeah, I think so. So after that, everything was just, okay, you still got to go to school. And like at the end of every conversation, everybody was telling me, like, you still got to go to school. You still got to make something of yourself. Don't be like us. Basically, that's what they were telling me. So after that, I was just like, okay, so yeah, it's time to step up. So I started working 2 jobs. I'm trying to work. I'm only 19 weeks, so I'm trying to work as much as I can before I get big or before I get to where I can't work. So I started working 2 jobs. I started buying stuff, Pampers, diapers, wipes, socks, mittens, stuff that you can use for both genders before I even found out the gender. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I gotta buy stuff. I'm buying everything from everything, body wash, pacifiers, every bottles, everything that I could think of that both boy and girl would use. So okay, so time kept going by. I started planning my gender reveal. COVID is here, so I didn't want to do nothing too big. So we all just went out to eat. And I had my gender reveal, and I would insert a clip there. What is her name picked out, everything. So after the balloons came out, after everything, I finally told my grandmother that I was naming her after her. I finally told my granny that I was naming her after her. She was crying. She just didn't know what to do because she didn't know what to do, what to say, how to say it, none of that. So I really just, that's really it. Like, I really just, everybody has been supportive. Everybody has been trying to, you know, be there for me. Even though I'm stubborn and I have my ways. Like, I don't like to be bothered now that I didn't like to be bothered when I wasn't. But now it's like, I really don't like to be bothered. I don't like to be around a lot of people. None of that. So it's really not hard being, well, I'm not a mother yet, but being pregnant is not hard. It's really been good for me. And yeah, so, and I'm not promoting teenage pregnancy at all, but I'm just saying, if you really get pregnant and you decide to keep your baby, it's okay. You still can go to school, you still can go to college, you still can work wherever you want to work. If you don't want to go to college, you still can work at that factory you wanted to work at. You still can work on that car you wanted to work at. I mean, work for. You can do everything. You still can do hair. You still can do nails. You still can do eyelashes. You can still do all that as long as you just, I don't know, maybe like spend your time wisely. Like, make sure that you still in your baby life. Don't pass your baby off to anybody else, because that'll be hard. Like, that'll make your baby grow up and not like you or not want to be around you. So that's it for this video. Would you please subscribe, like, and comment, and turn the notification bell on so you can get every video I post. I will try to start posting more often. This is just my first video, but I'll try to start posting more often, and I will try my best to get everything, give y'all what y'all want. Comment what videos y'all would like to watch, what y'all like to hear, story times. I will give y'all an update at my 22-week doctor's appointment, so that'll be that. And yeah,